Hello and welcome back to Code the Key. In this video, we're going to discuss another problem on bit manipulation, that is odd occurrences in an array. So we're given with an array and we have to check or find a number which is occurring odd number of times. Okay, so we're going to discuss three methods. The first one is very naive method. Okay, the second one is using hashing, that is dictionary in Python, and then we're going to use bit manipulation. Okay, so let's discuss the naive method. Now we are given with an array, we have to find the odd occurrences in an array, the element which is occurring odd number of times. So looking over an array, we can say that 5 is occurring odd number of times, that is 3. Okay, now 5 is occurring odd number of times. Now what naive method say is have one pointer at I, the first element, and again the j pointer. Okay, so for I element, traverse through an array and check whether it is occurring odd number of times or not. Okay, similarly do for the second element, do for the third element, and here we are traversing over the whole array. Okay, and we are checking whether it is occurring odd number of times or not. If that number occurred odd number of times, then we say that what it is occurring odd number of times. So something like for I in the array, okay, and we are keeping the count. Okay, and for j in array. Okay, now if I and j are same, we are incrementing the counter, count plus equals to 1, right? And after this loop, we're going to check if count is odd. If it is odd, then we're going to return that number, right? We're going to return this number, that is I, right? If we haven't got any number that is odd, so we're going to return -1. Okay, so this is it, right? Now this is a very naive method. Here the time complexity is big of n square, right? And space complexity is also big of n, because we are just having the input array, right? Now let us see another method. Here we are going to create an hash. Okay, we are going to create a dictionary taking all the elements. Okay, so 7, then 3, 5, right? And then we're going to keep the count of all the element in that dictionary. So 7 is occurring 2 times, 3 is occurring 2 times, 9 is occurring 2 times, 2 is occurring 2 times, and 5 is occurring 3 times. And then we're going to iterate over this key values, and then we're going to return the number which is odd. Okay, so I have written the code over here. What I'm doing over here is taking the length, creating a dictionary. Okay, now for I in array, okay, in the array, if I in hash, if that number is already present in the dictionary, then we're going to increment the counter of that key. Okay, let us run this, and we got 5, right? Because 5 is occurring 3 times, odd number of times, right? What we can do over here is we can remove all this code, and we can use get function. Okay, so for I in range, the size, okay, the size of the array, what we're going to do is we're going to use hash, and we're going to check if that is present. Okay, so we're going to use the get function over here. So what does get function do is generally takes a single value, okay, and if that number is present, it's going to return some value. Okay, so if I do get 2 when the get 7 when the hash is created, it's going to return me 2. Okay, now if the value is not present, okay, if that value, let's say 6, okay, 6 is not present over here, it's going to return none. Okay, so we can tell it that I don't want to return none when it is not present, I want to return it 0 when it is not present. Okay, so here we're going to use keyword key value. We can say when the value is not present, return me this value. Okay, so what I want is when the array I, that element is not present, I want to return you 0, and then I'm going to increment the value with 1. Okay, is Is that making sense? So now what we're going to have over here, like we have an array. Okay, if that element is not present, it's going to return me 0. Let's take an example. Okay, Python, let's say we have a hash, okay, as empty. Okay, now if I do something like a hash dot get, okay, if I get 2, then it is not going to return anything. Okay, now but if I do 2 comma 0, because hash is empty, right, and I want to get 2, but if it is not present, I want to return 0, so now it's going to return me 0, right? So over here, if that element 7 is not present, okay, if that element is not present, then what I want you to return 0. If it is present, I want to return the value which it is holding. Okay, and then I want to increment it if it is present, right? This is also going to work. Let us run this. Sorry. So yeah, we get 5, right? Now let us discuss another method. Yeah, one more thing. The time complexity of this hashing algorithm is big O of n, as we are traversing over the array one time, and the space complexity is also big O of n. Okay, now let us see the second method, that is bit manipulation using, sorry, the third method using the bit manipulation. Okay, so here this is the best method we can say. Okay, and the best solution, that is we're going to use bitwise XOR. Okay, we're going to use bitwise XOR. What is bitwise XOR, how it is used, we have seen it in the first video in the chapter of bit manipulation. You can check that out in the I button playlist. Okay, yeah. Now what does XOR gives you? It gives all the gives us the odd occurring elements. Okay, so we're going to use two rules over here. The first is A XOR A is 0. Okay, and second, when 0 is XORed with A, any number, we're going to get that number itself. Okay, so you can see if it is occurring even number of times, we're going to get 0. If it is occurring odd number of times, we're going to get that number itself. Okay, so here in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to iterate over the array one time. Okay, so over here, let's say I is 6. Okay, so we're going to, let's say we have a value result that is initialized to 0. Okay, what we're going to do is I XORed with the result is result. Okay, with each iteration. So now 0, so 6 XORed with 0, the result is going to give me the number 6 itself, right? Similarly, again the result XORed with, sorry, the number XORed with, now I is incremented, number XORed with the result is going to give me some number. So here I have already calculated it, it's 3. Okay, now I is incremented, again 6 XORed with 3 is going to give me 5. Oops, sorry, 5. Again it is incremented, 5 XORed with 5, now it is an even number, so 0. Now it is incremented, so 4, the number incremented XORed with 0, the result is going to give me 4, and our answer is 4. Okay, so the result is 4, right? Result is 4. That means 4 is occurring how many times? Odd number of times. Okay, you can try this for this array also. Okay, and tell me the result. Okay, now let us see the code for it. Let's see. So now for getting the number in odd form, let's say we have result is equals to 0. Now we're iterating over the array for I in array. Okay, now if so the result is equals to what? Result XORed with the number I. Okay, now if this, we're just going to return the result. Okay, let's see. So what we have, 5. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.